Say it, sister.
Welcome to the episode where we talk about ghosts.
But before we do, we thought we should introduce ourselves. I'm Robin,
I'm Renee.
and the reason why we're even doing this is we're kind of like, hey, we're funny. We love having a conversation. So we thought maybe there's one or two of you out there in internet land that might enjoy, and maybe even join our conversations, say something in the comments. We might be asking you questions and you can just type a little message to us and that would be wonderful. So, but let's get back to our conversation today
About ghosts.
Ooh. Okay, so we had, this is Broski.
We love
I
Broski.
don't know why she had to call him to us, but this is our dog, Broski, my dog.
Her dog.
Yeah. Anywho, he's going to sit here and do nothing while we do this. So, we wrote down some stuff about ghosts. We both believe in ghosts, first off.
For sure.
We definitely think that there is another dimension to things. And we first want to talk about, like, we've actually tried to chase ghosts. Kind of.
In our own way.
Yes, in a very safe, non-exorcism kind of way. We first went to the Mansfield prison. It has a real name, and I'll write it below, but we can't remember it at the time. But we went there, and
where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption.
Yep. So what we got to do is, it was cold. It was in the January or February or something, and so there's no heat in this place. So we're here in coats and hats and gloves because it's as cold, really cold inside as it is outside. We first get there. They have us in this one room. About, how many would you say, 100? And they give us the history of the place, some of the tales of where ghosts have been seen and stuff and heard, and just some people's experience. And then they let all of us go. There's a middle part, and then there's two wings, and each wing has three? And the cells are connected by a walkway on the outside, kind of like a deck or whatever you would want to call it. And it walks all the way around, and then you have stairs on the side. But yeah, they just let everybody walk around. And then there's a place downstairs in the basement. They call it the warming room, but that's where you can go and get hot chocolate and warm up some. But yeah, you could stay there for hours just exploring. So why don't you tell us some of your experiences that you had there at the prison?
Well, one was we were down on the ground level, and Robin saw a person standing up on the third level, and she kept saying, "Don't you see that person?" I said, "I don't see anybody."
I thought she was messing with me. I really did. I thought she was just like, yeah, I don't see it, wink, wink.
And then when we were allowed to go exploring, first what we did was we went up the spiral staircase and went up to that third floor to where she had seen the person. And then I started hearing this voice in my head, push him over, push him over. And I tried to ignore it, but it just kept getting louder and louder. And then I started getting this feeling in my chest, like a scared kind of feeling. And I was ahead of Robin. And I just left her.
She didn't just leave me. She didn't just take off. So I'm walking behind her. I'm about 1.5 persons behind her. And I'm just looking around, but I'm keeping pace with her. And, my footsteps start getting faster and faster. And I'm like, why am I going so fast? And then there's Renee all the way down. But yeah, she is right. She didn't say anything to me. She just started booking it. So
I figured if somebody's going to get pushed over, she could.
I could survive 3 floors on concrete because I'm made of rubber. Rubber. Anyway. I personally did not have any experiences. I had fun. It was really neat. And I saw that person. So I guess I did have an experience.
Yeah, I think you did.
But I think beyond that, oh, I smelled smoke.
You did.
We
I
were,
did not.
yeah, we were up in this one place. They were, it was another group. We asked if we could just kind of sit in and watch. They were trying to make contact and they asked about something I can't remember. And all of a sudden, I could just smell cigarette smoke. And that was one of the things that they said happened in that area was that that's where people would smoke and stuff.
We were in their not cathedral,
Chapel?
chapel, and they had this device that was recording anything that was being said on a certain frequency. And Robin asked a question, and the entity would say, "You shithead, you shithead," and I was laughing so hard.
Oh boy, yeah. But yeah, what else?
We were in the warden's quarters.
Oh, the chair.
And there was this closet with a chair in it that had, they had said people have felt things. And I sat down and I started feeling that scared feeling again. And I got up and I got out of there.
Yeah. I did not sit down, not because I wasn't feeling it. I just the whole night I really wasn't like my spidey senses weren't going off like they were
What's your
with her.
phrase?
I just I'm dead inside, so I didn't feel anything. But I didn't sit down in the chair. I didn't like you had a lot more of the experiences than I did there.
A side note, I was wearing this long, what I call my recess coat,
Oh,
and it came down to my ankles, and it's like a straight skirt. And we went outside to get warm, and so she could have a smoke. And I couldn't get up in her Jeep,
yeah, it's like a Jeep. It was a Dodge
Durango, or
no, oh my God, Bronco.
Bronco. And so I forgot to unzip from the bottom up, and I was stuck and I couldn't get in. And the more I laughed, the more she laughed, the more I couldn't get in. So I had her push me up.
Yes, she's short to begin with. You can't
Yes.
tell, but she is very short. And the Bronco doesn't have running boards, and it really should because people can't get in it, but short people can't. But
No.
yeah. And then she's like, push, push. My hands are on her. So I'm like, push, okay. You had to be there.
You did. It was
has
hilarious.
nothing to do with ghosts, but
It was part of the experience.
true. But yeah, so if you get a chance, it's in Mansfield, Ohio. Definitely tell you, go do it. You might
Yeah.
get even better experiences. So if you guys have ever been, write something down in the comments and let us know. Like, when did you go, or did you have a much better experience than we did? Second place we went for somebody's birthday.
Yes.
Was a place in Millersburg, Ohio. There is a Millersburg hotel, and it's supposedly very old. Well, as old as you can get in Ohio. Well, if you're listening from the UK, things
Wow.
are much older than they are in the US. Anyway, it's from Millersburg, and we actually stayed there. Very nice room. 2 queen beds, a roomie, like there was a lot of room to walk around and stuff. And we I'm going to insert here a picture of some eyes that were in our room, like kid sizes. There's 3 sets of eyes that you can see, but that's it. We didn't really experience anything. So
Yes, we did.
no, in our room.
Oh, in our room. Yes, we did, though.
Well, okay, before we get into any of this, you have to know that I bought one of those really cheap Amazon boxes that had some tools for ghost hunting. And one of them were these little balls that if you came around it, they would light up. Like any sort of energy came around it. Even if it was a human came around it to touch it, but not touch it, it would light up. So supposedly, if a ghost was around, that if they're around it, that it would light up.
Ghost.
Ghosts. So I think that's what you're talking
Yes,
about.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. The
Well,
yeah, but I don't want to say that word. The equipment went off several times in our room, and neither one of us were around them.
so that was cool. But I was able to sleep.
I was able to
We
sleep.
stayed 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
The lady, we got to meet the manager. She checked us in. Very nice. They have a really yummy really yummy restaurant in the hotel.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Very good.
Very good.
So you don't even have to go outside. But cute little downtown, really cute. A lot of little mom and poppy shops, and mommy poppy restaurants. It's a real word, mommy poppy.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, and we did some other stuff. So one neat thing about it is you are allowed to walk around at night in the hotel. They encourage it because if a room is not being used, they leave the door open.
Mm-hmm.
So you can even go into the different hotel rooms and, do whatever kind of ghost hunting that you want to do. And we had some experiences. What comes to mind when you think about Millersburg?
Being in the great room with the piano. The equipment went off several times without us being around it there.
Well, which one? The balls? You just don't want to say
I don't
balls.
want to say it. Yes, those.
The balls.
And we were sitting at a table and we were using a piece of equipment that would record different frequencies and entities talking. And so we were asking questions. And all of a sudden, Robin looks down and goes, "Ah, what was that?"
So there was part of the ghosts or whatever that had been recorded is people have seen a cat. Was it orange? We never figured it out. It doesn't matter. So people have seen a cat, and when they would check out, they would say like, "Oh, your cat was so friendly," and then the staff would be like, there's no cat here." Well, that's what it felt like. I was sitting in a chair and my legs were under a table, and you know how cats can like just brush by you when they meow and stuff or purr. That's what it felt like. But that is my no. That is a hard no for me. You
It
can't
really
touch
was.
me.
She was yelling.
That
is not allowed. You
I
were
was
yelling.
insistent. I believe the word
You
would
were
be
mad.
insistent. Well, yeah, I was pissed. It's
That
the
is
one thing
not
that
allowed.
is my
You are not
boundary.
allowed to touch me.
That is I don't let like human people touch me. So that is my
That's a
boundary.
shame.
Well, I have 3 kids. Somewhere I got touched, so it's okay. But anyway, yeah, it really did feel like the cat. So that it didn't make me scared or anything. I just, just don't touch me.
She got up and moved.
Yeah, did not get touched after that.
No. No way.
But we tried taking pictures like in mirrors. We stayed up pretty late that first night, walking around. Oh, you were telling a story about when the cat walked by my legs.
We were asking questions and leaving a pause to see if somebody would answer. When we played it back, while we were talking, we heard this this kind of sound.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what else? Did anything else happen? We haven't really gone through, like we took a whole bunch of videos. I would take pictures around the room. We haven't really spent the time going through it all.
Not yet.
But yeah, maybe if I can find the sound, we'll pause it right here and then we'll play it for you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anything else about Millersburg that we want to tell?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, we didn't have like big experiences. I don't know. Would you recommend it? It's if you want to do stuff more than just ghost hunt. Like we went to a Yoder farm, an Amish farm.
Mom and pop shops.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like there's a lot of other things to do, but I don't know.
Glass museum.
Yeah, and that old house museum. So there's stuff to do besides ghosts, but I don't know. Would you do it again?
I don't think so.
No. Which raises a good question. Where would you guys recommend that we go? Because we're thinking about trying to do one of those ghost hunting things where we get the old GoPros and we try to record, our experiences. But where do you guys recommend that we go? Just write it below. That would be great. And then maybe we could have an actual, episode all about what you guys have told us, so you can spread the word for other people.
Or tell us about an experience that you've had.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. We've had a couple.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about yours first?
Okay.
I've been talking.
I play the organ, and I was practicing one day at the church I was playing for, and we have this little mirror where you can see in back of you. And I was playing my favorite song that goes, na 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 na.
That typical organ thing for like evil or whatever.
Dracula.
Yeah. You're right.
And I look in the mirror, and there's this gentleman that's dressed in like 1800s kind of clothes. And it scared me. So I turned around to look at him, and he said, "Thank you." And he tipped his hat. And then turned around. I'm like, am I really seeing this? And then I look in the mirror again, and he's gone. And I turn around just seconds, not even seconds after, and he was gone, disappeared. When I was little, I woke up, and I thought I saw this lady in a really pretty white nightgown. It was kind of flowing. And I kept yelling, "Mom, Mom, is that you, Mom?" And my mom walked through that apparition, I don't know what you call it. And I realized it wasn't my mom. And I had a mentor of mine pass away. And I was laying in my bed, and she was sitting on top of the headboard. And she's talking to me and smiling. And I'm like, I couldn't hear things she said, but she was really talking to me. And then she disappeared, and I never saw her again.
Your orbs in your
Oh, yeah.
basement.
We had put up security cameras in our house, and an orb, just one, we saw floating around and coming up to the camera. And my husband at the time was going through some medical issues, and he was sitting right on the first floor, sitting right above where the orb came. And then the next night we had two orbs floating around, and it wasn't dust. We checked everything out, and the two orbs came up in the same place. And then we decided we were going to investigate it. And my husband at that time joked around with us. And what did he do?
Well, we were trying to talk to it.
Uh-huh.
And he came through the security camera. He
Oh, yes, he talked to us, and we scared us.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, we fell for it big time. We didn't believe, we knew it was him, but him coming in and saying something startled us.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, are you okay? I mean, can we get you anything? So I
Your
remember,
experiences.
the first one I've ever, and maybe I had him as a kid, I don't know. But my one that I do remember is when my husband and I, we just had our first child, and she was a baby, and like 4 or 5 months, and she's a good sleeper, really good sleeper, wasn't a crier, just very happy, babbly, doesn't cry, but when she wakes up, she'll babble and stuff. Anyway, so when I laid in my bed, I could look down the hallway to see the wall, and then where the crib was on the other side, and then the door was next to the crib. But if I could look through walls, I could see her in her crib. And I don't know if this was real or not, because I was in that just waking up. I don't know, was I still dreaming? Was I making it up in my head? But I saw a guy, she starts crying, not like panic crying, but like crying, like a fussing. And I see this old man, and he goes, and he turns and he disappears into the wall, and she stops crying. And he looked exactly like our grandfather, our dad's dad. And I had never met him because he had passed away before I was even born. So I've never met this man, but it looked like the pictures. So, and she stayed asleep, for a little bit. But like I said, was it a real thing? I don't know if I was fully awake or not. So, and then there was my in-laws. My in-laws like to use electricity. When they each passed, they would flick the lights, and they just let us know we're there. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But they both did. They both passed at different times. And it seemed like to me, if you get into what I believe when somebody passes that there's a period that they kind of stick around just to make sure that everybody's okay, like their families are okay. Because with both my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, there were, until we were able, they both were winters. So before we could, put their remains in the ground to rest, there was interaction. So that was cool. But that's what I believe, that, we're energy, our souls are made of energy, and that it might be in a different form, but I don't think you can get rid of energy. I don't think energy dies. It might go to a different place, depending on what you believe, but I don't think that there's nothing. So that's how I think that there's ghosts, because some energy just sticks around for whatever reason. What do
When
you
our
think?
dad passed,
Oh,
I was in the room and I just felt this overwhelming joy and happiness, and he was just like he was free. And on the way out, as we were leaving, we found a dime on the elevator floor, and I picked it up, and I kept hearing him yell in my head, "Take care of her, my mom. Take care of her, take care of her, take care of her." And I wanted to yell, "Yeah, okay, I get it, I will."
I hear you.
Yeah.
The significance of a dime is he collected coins. That was his hobby.
And we keep
So,
finding dimes.
well, Mom does. I don't. Do you?
I found one that night. I spent the night with my mom, and I got out of bed, went to the bathroom, came back, and there was a dime sitting where my heart would have been while I was laying there. I didn't tell you that?
No, that is
That's
cool.
the only one I found two.
Oh,
The other one was I was doing laundry, and it put stuff in the dryer, and when I got it out, a dime fell out.
and our mom has quite a few stories. I want to say at least 5 of times when she was having a really difficult moment, that she would find. One time it was a nickel, but the other times it has been a dime. So, yeah. So what do you guys think? Are ghosts real? Are they not? Are they just our imagination? Are this things coincidence? I don't know. You guys tell us. So, you ready to say it, sister?
Sure.
Say goodbye.
Oh, bye. So long.
Bye. All right.